I'm gonna be honest with you. Now, I don't know if it was the sign of the times, but it looked like it was a whole bunch of experts over there. Like it was a dude over there named Bunny. I was like, Bunny. Now, a ninja named Bunny, you know, goddamn well he had some hope.
I don't hear nobody out there. Hold down.
Hello there, love bugs. Hello there, Bellas. If you have not already done so, please remember to like, share, subscribe, comment respectfully, tip your favorite narrator via Cash App at $NAROB on YouTube. And if you have not already joined our book club, please hit the Patreon link below and or the join button here on the YouTube. And for a $5 fee, you babies, yes, you can be privy to all the shenanigans before the YouTube gets it, if the YouTube gets it. Listen, y'all. We got a book that's on its way, okay? Our book club fairy, you know who you are. I love you so much. But our book club fairy sent us a book. If you are a member, you already know what it is. We're halfway through the Phyllis Hyman book. So I would say by like the second week of October, we should be on and pop it. If not sooner. Okay, y'all know my birthday is coming up October the 2nd. So please make sure y'all send me a birthday gift over there to the Cash App at $NAROB on YouTube. We're going to I need some new glasses, y'all, because look, the first dog then bit the bee. Lulu then bit the bee off the Burberry. And then turned around and bit the Y off the Burberry on this one. Y'all need some glasses. I had these for a minute. Like, I think I've had these for like 3 years. My prescription has changed. But anyway, love bugs, let's continue reading. Dun, 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 dun. I got some teeth work done. Strength of a Woman by Jason A. Michael. Mr. Michael done a very good job. I know one of y'all gonna run over there and tell him I said so. Phyllis auditioned for casting director Reuben Cannon in Chicago and New York, and he was duly impressed. He called Spielberg and said, "I've found Suge Avery. The search is over," said Glenda. When the time came to audition for Spielberg, Sidney traveled with Phyllis to Los Angeles. At the Hollywood Sheraton, Phyllis met up with Whoopi Goldberg, Oprah Winfrey, and Danny Glover. Together, they all traveled by van to Spielberg's compound. Goldberg was particularly impressed with Phyllis. She was thrilled to see her, Sidney said. She told Phyllis, "I love you. I'm so glad you're here. I wanted you to be in this." Once at Spielberg's place, the hopeful actors were ushered into his ensemble room. Sidney was not allowed to accompany Phyllis inside, and instantly she grew worried. She had traveled to California to hold Phyllis's hand. Now she had to release her grip. Sidney knew that Phyllis was nervous and that when she became anxious, anything could happen. Shortly before lunchtime, the doors in the ensemble room opened. Whoopi was the first one out, said Sidney. She didn't even look at me. She walked right on past me. Next out was Danny Glover. Your girl acted out, he whispered to Sidney. She was trying to run the audition. She was ordering Steven Spielberg around. Sidney was mortified. Still, she was not surprised. That was Phyllis's M.O. When she got scared, she tried to take over things so she could regain control. She lost the part because they could not wrap their heads around being with Phyllis for 5 months in North Carolina while they shot the film. Yeah, ain't nobody got time to be dealing with that bitch. Later, when she spoke of the incident, Phyllis did so with indifference. I tried my best, but I didn't see myself in the part, she said. I live in the real world. I'm my own manager and agent. I knew I wasn't right for it. Not so, said Sheila Eldridge, Phyllis's publicist. She wanted that part. She was devastated. She knew that part was for her. Instead, the role went to Margaret Avery, who, not being a singer, had to have her vocals in the film overdubbed by Tata Vega. What? That is, if I were you, I would say yes. That was Tata Vega. But I thought she did sing parts of the movie. I guess I was wrong. It's difficult not to imagine Phyllis in the role and consider what it could have done for her career. I agree. It's also tragic to see the pattern that was forming. For as much as she craved it, Phyllis was scared of success. Totally terrified. Glenda and Sydney were working hard to take Phyllis to the next level. But every time they reached the brink, Phyllis sabotaged herself and her chances. As the search began for a new recording home for Phyllis, Glenda didn't have to look far. She had known Kenny Gamble since she was in law school and had worked for him while at the Black Music Association. Gamble, along with Leon Huff, owned the Philadelphia International record label. Together, and often with the aid of writer-producer Tom Bell, the pair created what came to be known as the Philly Sound, a multi-layered, bottom-heavy brand of sophistication and glossy urban rhythm and blues characterized by crisp, melodious harmonies backed by lush string-laden orchestrations and a hard-driving rhythm section. Damn, that was a lot. As described by John Jackson in his 2004 book, A House on Fire, The Rise and Fall of the Philly Soul. Jackson maintained that Philadelphia International was pop music's last great independent hit factory. By 1985, however, the factory had long since shut its doors. The label has spent the past 2 years without a distributor, and the only viable act still on its roster was the OJs. Now, though, they had finally succeeded in inking a new distribution deal, this time with Capital EMI, the third largest power in the recording industry behind CBS and WEA, Warner Electric Atlantic. The news was music to Glenda's ears. Once she learned of Kenny Gamble's interest in Phyllis, she passionately pursued a deal. In so doing, Glenda overlooked a crucial fact about the Philadelphia International Records empire. The label's historical strong point was male recording artists, and their track record with female vocalists was less than stellar. I didn't know that. I didn't know that. But when you look back on it, it's a yeah for me. So I'm looking at the roster for Philly International Records, and it is saturated with males. The females that I saw were a part of a mostly male group. They were solo artists like Patti LaBelle, Phyllis Hyman, Dee Dee Sharp. I think the 3 Degrees was with them, and the Jones Girls. I just never knew that that was a issue with them. That's kind of weird. It's kind of misogynistic also. I'm going to be honest with you. Now, I don't know if it was the sign of the times, but it looked like it was a whole bunch of ex-pimps over there. Like it was a dude over there named Bunny. I was like, Bunny? Now, a ninja named Bunny, you know goddamn well he had some hope. Philadelphia International wasn't the only offer on the table. Glenda was also speaking with Larkin Arnold, who had moved on from Arista to CBS Records, and Bruce Lundvall of Capital EMI. But the deal with PIR was the frontrunner from the start. Phyllis felt Arista had been too big for her. There she was forced to compete with many other female artists for songs, producers, marketing dollars, and perhaps most importantly, the attention of the label's head. The same would not be so at PIR, where, like she had been at Buddha, Phyllis would once again be a big fish in a little pond. There was also another factor that played heavily into Glenda advising Phyllis to sign with PIR. Kenny said something to me that was, for all intents and purposes, the key to making the decision about where to go. And it was that he heard a tear in Phyllis's voice, Glenda said. I knew based on him saying that he was compelled to capture that in her recordings, that he was really onto something. It was my hope that he would be able to tailor make and produce songs for Phyllis's voice, unlike anyone else had. The deal was not fantastic. Kenny would go no higher than a $50,000 signing advance. Notice, it's an advance, not a bonus. An advance. Advance means that you have to pay me back with work. I'll front you this money, but bitch, I'm gonna get my money back. The same amount Phyllis had received for signing with Arista back in 1978. But there was one major perk. PIR was willing to give Phyllis a 2-album deal. Financially, it was not the deal that Glenda was hoping for, but most importantly, it was a deal.
Hollywood, lovely white light.